UFC 305 is here, and there's a lot of money to be made on this fight card. Getting straight into the first fight of the night, we got Stewart Nicoll versus Jesus Aguilar. May have gotten the name wrong, but at least I can roll my R's. I'm on the side of the underdog in this one because he packs a lot of power in his punches and he is UFC proven. Granted, he may have lost against Arturo Tyra and debatably lost against Mateusz Mendoza. He still showed great skills in all of his fights. Stewart Nicoll, on the other hand, he's not UFC proven, but he has all the hype around him. I think his UFC jitters are going to kick in. He may freeze up on the big stage, and that's going to benefit Jesus. There's a lot of value in this play, so that's why I'm recommending putting half a unit on the underdog to get the job done. Moving on to Kenan versus Ricky Glenn at the welterweight division. Kenan packs a ton of power in his punches, and Ricky Glenn is moving up a weight class, coming off losses. I do believe Kenan is going to be able to put him away fairly early and get the job done. On to the next one, we have Nolan versus Alex Reyes, and this is really easy. Alex Reyes is on the chopping block of the UFC. Dominic Reyes' brother. He's been getting knocked out left, right, and center. Took a long layoff, came back, got finished. It has been crazy for him. And Tom Nolan, he packed some power in his punches. Granted, he did lose his UFC debut, but he came back and finished his next fight in spectacular fashion. I think the UFC are trying to push him into becoming more of a contender, so they're giving him a layup, and I think he's going to knock him out inside the first round. But give me Tom Nolan to win by knockout. Next fight of the night is going to be Jack Jenkins versus Herbert Burns, and this is as easy as it gets for Jack Jenkins. One of the worst fighters at the UFC level is Herbert Burns. He only has one round of cardio in him, and he has very terrible takedowns. His jiu-jitsu is at a very high level, but he's not going to be able to get this fight down to the ground. Jack Jenkins is going to beat him any way that he wants, especially if he drags it on to the second round, where Herbert is going to be huffing and puffing and losing this fight. Next fight of the night is going to be Casey O'Neill versus short notice replacement Luana Santos. Luana Santos coming off a very impressive win and fighting Casey O'Neill. I think it's going to look really good for the short notice replacement in Luana Santos. I think she's one of the higher level fighters in the division, especially from her last showing. She has really nice stand-up and some really good groundwork. Casey O'Neill getting finished by submission to Ariana Lipsky left a really sour taste in my mouth, so I think Luana Santos is going to get this job done. It's also one of the picks for the night. Next fight of the night is going to be Josh Culibaon versus Ricardo Ramos, and I don't like Ricardo Ramos at all from his last fight. He had Julian Erosa basically out of there, and he wanted to rush into the ground and got caught very clumsily to a guillotine. Really sour taste. Josh Culibaon, he is coming off losses against Lerone Murphy and Danny Silva, but I still think he is a better fighter than Ricardo Ramos, and I'm siding with him for this one. Definitely a fade play because there's not much value in Culibaon. On to the next fight. Next up, we have the battle of the lesser known brothers, Junior Tafa, brother of Justin Tafa, and Valter Walker, brother of Johnny Walker. I expect this fight to be a one round and done by either of these men. Valter Walker has terrible cardio. Junior Tafa has terrible takedown defense. And both of these guys, they ain't gonna go to decision. I do like Junior Tafa a lot more. He is aware of what Valter Walker wants to do in this fight, and I think he's going to be able to catch Valter Walker coming in. He's going to be able to outstrike him. The only worry is the leg kicks, if Valter Walker uses leg kicks, and if Valter Walker exposes him on the ground. I'm going to be placing a bet on this one, but it's very high risk. So if you don't like the risk, don't take the bet. Junior Tafa to get the job done. Next up, we have Jingliang versus Carlos Prates. Jingliang is coming off a very, very large layoff. His last fight was a split decision loss to Daniel Rodriguez, which I believe he would have won, but they didn't give him the nod on the night. Carlos Prates coming off a very, very nice finish of Radke. Now, Jingliang, such a large layoff, and coming up against a guy with a lot of power and great striking technique, it doesn't look too good for him. He does pack a lot of power in his punches, and Carlos Prates is there to be hit. So that's why I should fade the play. But I do like the side of Carlos Prates. I think he's going to be able to catch Jingliang often. If he's not going to be able to put him away, he may be able to win a decision. But no play, especially considering that he was losing the fight to Trevin Giles. Next up, we have Tuivasa versus Jairzinho Rozenstruik. And Tuivasa has been on a terrible, terrible UFC skid. And I don't like him for this fight at all. He can catch Jairzinho. I think Ty is going to get tired. And Jairzinho is going to be able to pick him apart, similar to how he did against Gaziev. Next up, we have Mateusz Gamrot versus Dan Hooker. And this one, I'm really confident in Gamrot to get it done. His takedowns are relentless. He may not be able to finish the fight, but he's definitely going to be working for the takedowns. Dan Hooker, he knows it's coming, so he's going to be working on his takedown defense and trying to time him coming in. I don't think he's going to be able to. I don't think he's going to be able to stop the relentless pressure of Gamrot. I think Gamrot is going to wear on him and win a decision. It may be a boring fight, but I do like the side of Gamrot. On to the co-main event of the evening, we have Kai Kara-France versus Steve Erceg, and I like the side of Steve Erceg on this one. His last fight against Pantoja really impressed me, and it showed that he is probably the second best fighter in the division on paper. Some people believe that he is the best one because some people think that he beat Pantoja, but Pantoja is on a way higher level than Kai Kara-France, in my opinion. Kai Kara-France does pack a lot of power, but Steve Erceg has got a chin on him. I do believe Steve Erceg gets it done. I do believe Steve Erceg is going to get it done by decision. On to the main event of the evening. Shout out to my boy Goldie, the GOAT. He wants to beat Anu, and I'm on his side for this one. I think Israel Adesanya is going to get the job done. I posted a video on it as well. I think Dricus is a very good stylistic matchup. People are having a sour taste in their mouth from his fight against Sean Strickland. I mean, I bet on Izzy. I lost money on Izzy. But Sean Strickland is a better stylistic matchup. Dricus is perfect for Israel Adesanya's style. Dricus, his defense is not the greatest. He uses his shoulders to kind of block his chin, and Israel could definitely find his chin. Reckless offense. Israel Adesanya has very sound defense. Dricus might shoot for a takedown. Izzy might be up against defense, which he's very comfortable and very good at. He may be able to stop the takedown, turn to the side, and catch Dricus with a very, very clean shot. He can catch him anywhere and everywhere. Hurt him early, hurt him often. He can put him out, or he can hurt him so badly that he becomes hesitant in coming in and win a very, very flawless, not flawless, but very, very clean decision. I'm also going to be placing a bet on Israel Adesanya to get the job done. This has been my UFC picks and analysis for UFC 305. Be sure to leave a like, comment what you think of it down below, subscribe, follow me on TikTok, follow me on Twitter, support the channel on the Patreon, and I'll catch you in the next one. Until then, game time.